Welcome back. When something terrible happens, people say it almost automatically: God is testing you. God allowed this for a reason. This is part of His plan. And sometimes people go even further: God caused this to teach you something. It sounds spiritual. It sounds like faith. But for someone sitting in real pain, it can make God feel like the enemy. And when you actually open the Bible, that picture does not hold up. Let's start with the book of Job, the most direct conversation the Bible has about suffering. Job loses everything: his children, his wealth, his health, and his friends show up and do exactly what a lot of religious people still do today. They tell him his suffering must be his fault. God must be punishing him. There must be a reason rooted in something Job did wrong. And at the end of the book, God speaks. And what does he say to those friends? He tells them they are wrong. He is angry with them for misrepresenting him. Job, the man who sat in his pain and questioned God honestly, is the one God commends. That alone should make us careful about claiming God engineered someone's suffering for a purpose. Now look at how Jesus responds to suffering throughout the Gospels. In John 11, Lazarus dies. Mary and Martha are devastated, and when Jesus arrives and sees their grief, what does he do? He weeps, not because he did not know what was about to happen, not because he lacked power. He weeps because they are hurting, because suffering moves him. That is not the response of a God who designed the pain. That is the response of a God who enters into it. In John 9, the disciples ask Jesus about a man born blind. Who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? They assumed suffering always had a cause rooted in someone's failure. Jesus shut that down immediately. Neither this man nor his parents sinned. Stop looking for someone to blame. That framework is wrong. So where does suffering actually come from? The Bible points to a few honest answers. The first is the fall. In Genesis 3, when sin entered the world, it did not just affect humanity, it fractured everything. Disease, death, natural disasters, broken relationships, these are consequences of a world that is no longer operating the way God originally designed it. Suffering is not God's invention, it is the result of a broken world. The second is human free will. A significant portion of the pain people experience comes directly from the choices of other people. Abuse, betrayal, violence, neglect, these are not God's doing. They are the result of human beings misusing the freedom God gave them. God does not override human will to prevent every harmful choice. And that means real people get hurt by other people's decisions. The third, and the Bible is clear about this, is spiritual opposition. In Job, it is not God who brings the suffering. It is Satan who requests permission to test Job, and God does not initiate it. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12 reminds us that our struggle is not against flesh and blood but against spiritual forces at work in a broken world. And sometimes, and the Bible is honest about this too, suffering simply has no clean explanation. Not everything is a lesson. Not everything is punishment. Sometimes life in a fallen world is just hard. James chapter 1 does talk about trials producing endurance and character, but that is not the same as God causing the trial. A good parent does not break their child's leg to teach them resilience, but they can walk with their child through the healing and help something meaningful come out of it. There is a difference between God causing your pain and God being present in it, and that is the real message of the Bible when it comes to suffering. Not that God is behind every hardship, engineering your agony for a lesson, but that He does not abandon you in it. Psalm chapter 34 verse 18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Not the Lord caused the brokenness, the Lord is close to it. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 2 says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you." Not I sent the waters, I will be with you in them. This matters deeply, because when people are told God caused their suffering, one of two things usually happens. Either they feel they deserve the pain and carry guilt on top of grief, or they turn away from God entirely because they cannot reconcile a loving Father with a God who engineers agony. Both outcomes come from a distorted picture of who God is. The God of the Bible is not sitting above your pain pulling strings. He is present inside it with you. Suffering is real. It is not always explainable, and you do not have to dress it up in theological language to make God look good. He can handle your honesty. He already proved that in Job. He already proved it at the tomb of Lazarus. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped you see God differently in the middle of what you are going through, please subscribe to the channel and drop a comment below. I would love to hear how you have wrestled with this question personally.